It was a difficult job because Harold and Dan wrote the script, and they basically said, why doesn't Bill say that?
Absolutely. It's got lots of laughs, lots of special effects, and family picture, and we're very, very excited. It's going to be a good one.
Okay, thank you, Dan, for being with us. Now, my next guest.
It's been called the perfect comedy blockbuster.
What the hell are you doing?
Ghostbusters didn't just entertain. It proved that supernatural horror and laugh-out-loud comedy could merge into box office gold that changed Hollywood forever. This tale of paranormal investigators, possessed musicians, and a giant marshmallow man combined improvisation genius with groundbreaking effects. Today, we're suiting up with proton packs to uncover the secrets behind the film that made bustin' ghosts feel good. The script that started as sci-fi epic. Dan Aykroyd's original Ghostbusters script was an unfilmable 200-page monster that envisioned interdimensional ghost-fighting teams traveling through time and space with elaborate equipment that would have bankrupted a major studio. His genuine belief in the paranormal and family history with spiritualism created a sprawling science fiction epic that bore little resemblance to the comedy classic audiences would eventually see. John Belushi's tragic death in 1982 devastated Aykroyd, who had written the role of Peter Venkman specifically for his Blues Brothers partner. This loss forced a complete creative reassessment that ultimately shaped the film's more grounded approach. Harold Ramis came aboard to rewrite the script into something actually filmable, stripping away the time travel and space stations while keeping the core concept of blue-collar paranormal exterminators working in contemporary New York. Ivan Reitman's vision as director focused on making the supernatural elements feel believable through treating the ghost-catching business with documentary-style realism. The cast has revealed that this tension between Aykroyd's genuine belief in the paranormal and the need for comedy created the perfect balance that made audiences take the absurd premise seriously. This grounded approach that Reitman championed would prove essential when casting began, particularly in landing the film's most crucial and reluctant star. Bill Murray. Bill Murray showed minimal interest in Ghostbusters initially, having grown tired of comedy ensemble films and preferring serious dramatic roles that would showcase his range beyond Saturday Night Live characters. Ivan Reitman practically stalked Murray to convince him to read the script, eventually tracking the actor down to a remote filming location where he reluctantly agreed to consider the project. Murray's unique improvisation style clashed with Harold Ramis's carefully structured comedy writing.
Let me guess. Ghosts are worshippers.
Creating creative tension that actually enhanced Peter Venkman's character. Where Ramis wrote precise jokes with specific setups and punchlines, Murray preferred loose, jazz-like improvisation that felt spontaneous and natural. This conflict would eventually contribute to their personal falling out years later, but during Ghostbusters, it generated comedy gold. The cast has revealed that Murray often refused to rehearse, preferring to discover moments during actual takes, which frustrated his more prepared co-stars, but created unpredictable energy. His cynical, con artist approach to Venkman made the supernatural premise believable because his character clearly didn't take any of it seriously, giving audiences permission to laugh at the absurdity while still engaging with the story. Murray's skeptical energy provided perfect contrast to his co-star's genuine enthusiasm for the paranormal. Dan Aykroyd's supernatural obsession. Dan Aykroyd brought authentic passion for paranormal research to race dance, drawing from his family's history with spiritualism and his own extensive reading about ghost hunting, psychic phenomena, and occult practices. His grandfather had conducted seances, and Aykroyd grew up surrounded by books about supernatural investigation that informed every technical detail in the script. The proton packs, PKE meters, and ghost traps weren't just random sci-fi props, but equipment based on Aykroyd's research into actual paranormal investigation tools, given comedic functionality and visual flair. His enthusiasm for explaining the pseudoscientific principles made the technology feel plausible despite being complete fantasy, with Aykroyd's rapid-fire technical dialogue delivered with such conviction that audiences accepted the impossible. Creating Ray as the team's true believer and emotional heart allowed Aykroyd to channel his genuine fascination with the supernatural into a character whose childlike wonder about ghosts provided emotional authenticity. The cast has revealed that Aykroyd would often discuss real paranormal cases between takes, maintaining the atmosphere that made their fictional ghost hunting feel rooted in something beyond pure comedy. This authentic passion needed balance from someone who could ground the science with deadpan brilliance. Harold Ramis. Harold Ramis faced the unique challenge of co-writing Ghostbusters while simultaneously creating Egon Spengler, a character whose intellectual brilliance and complete lack of social awareness required playing genius without arrogance or boring exposition. His dual role as writer and actor meant he understood exactly how to make technical dialogue funny through delivery rather than dumbing down the intelligence. Egon's deadpan responses to supernatural chaos created comedy through contrast. While others panicked or cracked jokes, Spengler remained clinically fascinated by phenomena that should have terrified any rational person. Ramis understood that straight man comedy required absolute commitment to character logic, with Egon's bizarre statements about spores, molds, and fungus delivered with complete scientific seriousness. His comedic theory emphasized structure and character consistency, believing that improvisation worked best within carefully constructed frameworks. The cast has revealed that Ramis would gently guide Murray's spontaneous moments back toward story beats, while allowing freedom within scenes, creating the perfect marriage of written comedy and improvised genius. Ramis's structured approach helped shape the ensemble, though not everyone received equal screen time in the final cut. Ernie Hudson's Winston Ernie Hudson signed on to Ghostbusters expecting a substantial role as Winston Zeddemore, the everyman who would ground the eccentric scientists and provide audience identification with someone discovering the supernatural alongside viewers. The original script featured Winston much earlier, with significant character development and philosophical discussions about faith and science that gave him narrative importance. Budget constraints and script revisions pushed Winston's introduction to the film's second half, reducing his role from equal team member to late addition hired when business was booming. Hudson has spoken candidly about his disappointment watching the film and realizing how much of his character had been cut, transforming Winston from crucial perspective into supporting player. What remained showcased Hudson's natural charisma and ability to ground the team's eccentric energy with working-class pragmatism. His, "if there's a steady paycheck in it, I'll believe anything you say," perfectly captured blue-collar practicality in the face of supernatural absurdity. The cast has revealed that Hudson's professionalism, despite his reduced role, helped maintain ensemble chemistry that made the team feel believable. The female lead, however, managed to transcend typical genre limitations through star power and commitment. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. The genius of choosing a beloved corporate mascot as the film's apocalyptic threat came from Ray's panicked attempt to think of something harmless, accidentally weaponizing childhood nostalgia into city-destroying terror. This concept brilliantly satirized American consumer culture while creating an antagonist that was simultaneously adorable and genuinely threatening as it crushed cars and destroyed buildings. The practical effects combined a full-body suit performer for street-level destruction with elaborate miniature work that made the 100-foot Marshmallow Man's rampage through Manhattan feel appropriately massive. The Stay Puft suit actor had to carefully navigate miniature city streets, while the camera angles and forced perspective created the illusion of skyscraper-sized devastation. Making something designed to be cute into an existential threat required perfect tonal balance. Stay Puft needed to remain recognizably the friendly mascot, while his blank expression became sinister through context. The cast has revealed that seeing the final effects made them understand how the film was successfully walking the tightrope between comedy and genuine supernatural stakes. the music would prove equally important in maintaining this delicate balance between humor and legitimate danger. Elmer Bernstein's unexpected score. Hiring Elmer Bernstein, composer of serious dramas and westerns, to score a supernatural comedy seemed counterintuitive until audiences heard how his orchestral grandeur made ghost catching feel genuinely epic. His dramatic, sweeping themes treated the Ghostbusters like heroes in a serious adventure film, creating ironic contrast with the comedic dialogue and situations that elevated both elements. Ray Parker Jr.'s iconic theme song faced legal controversy when Huey Lewis sued for copyright infringement, claiming it copied his "I Want a New Drug" too closely. The lawsuit was settled out of court, but the controversy couldn't diminish the theme's cultural impact and instant recognizability that helped market the film to massive audiences. The combination of Bernstein's orchestral score and Parker's pop theme created perfect sonic identity. Serious music that made audiences take the supernatural stakes seriously, while the catchy theme song became inescapable radio hit that kept the film in public consciousness. The cast has revealed that hearing Bernstein's dramatic music helped them understand that they were making something bigger than a simple comedy. These musical choices supported the practical challenge of making 1980s Manhattan feel genuinely haunted by supernatural forces. The ending that almost didn't happen. Budget concerns nearly prevented Ghostbusters' climactic battle from reaching its full spectacular potential, with studio executives worried about the cost of elaborate effects sequences featuring dimensional portals, demon dogs, and a giant marshmallow man destroying Manhattan. The filmmakers had to fight for resources to deliver the epic conclusion that the story demanded. The decision to have the Ghostbusters cross the streams, directly contradicting Egon's earlier warning that this would cause total protonic reversal, Dash represented breaking their own established rules for dramatic necessity. This moment required audiences to understand that the team was taking ultimate risk, because conventional tactics couldn't defeat Gozer, making their sacrifice feel genuinely heroic despite the comedic context. The massive miniature work and optical effects creating the temple atop Dana's apartment building, the Terror Dog's transformation, and Stay Puft's destruction required coordination between multiple effects teams, working with techniques that pushed 1984 technology to its limits. This perfect storm of elements created something that would define blockbuster comedy for generations. The legacy that defined comedy. Franchises Ghostbusters proved that comedy could be legitimate blockbuster material, worthy of massive budgets, merchandising, and franchise development. Its success opened doors for comedy films to receive resources previously reserved for action movies and serious dramas, changing Hollywood's approach to funding and marketing comedic projects. The merchandising empire became unprecedented for comedy films, with toys, cartoons, cereals, and countless products, turning Ghostbusters into cultural phenomenon beyond just successful movie. The Real Ghostbusters animated series introduced the franchise to new generations while expanding the mythology in directions the films never explored. Its influence on genre-blending comedy showed filmmakers that audiences would embrace ambitious concepts when executed with confidence and humor. The film demonstrated that special effects could enhance comedy rather than overwhelm it, that improvisation within structure created magic, and that taking ridiculous premises seriously made them funnier than winking at the audience. The next time you watch Ghostbusters, notice how the serious music makes the comedy work better. Observe how each actor brings distinct energy that creates perfect ensemble balance, and appreciate how practical effects and real locations ground the supernatural in tangible reality. Who you gonna call when comedy and horror need to merge perfectly? How does the film's message about entrepreneurship versus bureaucracy resonate today? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more explorations of films that defined their eras.